We're live?
Yes, sir.
Are we live? Are you with us right now? Working a little early today. We will stream the broadcast back again tonight at 8 o'clock, but we want to try out different times just to see how things are going. We're busy. Salo's got a baby. I'm starting a new little job. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. That's my logo right there, and that's me. Oh, I'm back. But no, we're going to try a little bit of different time today. We're going to talk some politics. We're going to talk some business world. We're going to bring in a friend of ours here in this wonderful building I'm going to describe to you here in a second. We're going to thank our sponsors, and we're going to talk a little bit of politics, a little bit of elections, a little bit of mortgage world. We're going to do all kinds of stuff today. A little bit of Salo's baby, a little bit of hand sanitizing right here. I've got this today. I'm going to do a coronavirus hand sanitizing demonstration for you. I've got 2 products for that. We're going to have a good old time. So thank you for being here. Like it, share it, push it out to a friend. Let everybody know we're moving times around just to find a spot. Like I said, that's a sweet spot that fits well. So we always, at the top of every show, thank our sponsors. So up front, first of all, we always thank our lovely friends, our wonderful friends at AAA Garcia Bail Bonds. Louis has been with us, and he is a brother. He's been with us forever. And trust me, every time we have an opportunity to talk about bail bonds, like this is a normal conversation for us. Any opportunity, bail bonds, that conversation comes up, we always refer to our friend, Louis Garcia, AAA Garcia Bail Bonds. Look, if something goes wrong or goes south, he's always offering a special to help you get out of the slammer as quickly as possible. He's a good man, family-owned business, and he's also a brother. He's also Consejo Rey Feo. So we should have some insider information here pretty quick, whether or not he's going to cancel Fiesta. I don't know. We're going to talk about that, but maybe Louis will let us know. But AAA Garcia Bail Bonds, he is awesome, and he's our guy. So thank you, Louis, for everything you do. We appreciate it. And, of course, our boy Tyler Hall, right? Tyler helps on the show, and he also has a Speedy Salt business. You want to talk about a guy hustling, an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, it's Tyler. This guy has created a mechanism by which he knows you need salt before you know you need salt, and you don't have to drag a 50-pound bag around. Tyler will show up at your house at 1 a.m. with a 50-pound bag of salt. No, I'm just kidding. Not 1 a.m. That's a joke. He's not going to ring your doorbell. You're not going to see him looking eerie outside your window with a bag of salt at 1 a.m. He will show up at the appropriate time and deliver your salt for you. He's also a great guy, helps out on the show, but Tyler is huge. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you, Tyler. And, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the folks who we're filming and streaming live from, and we've been all over different places. But our friends at Align Mortgage, I got to talk to you about this business here in a little while, but we're using their facilities now to stream. They've got a wonderful building right off here off Summit Parkway, and I encourage you to come visit. Look, every other Wednesday. It's every other Wednesday. Starting, actually, next week Wednesday, they serve lunch for the community, like straight up brotherhood. Everybody comes together, breaking bread, and they always hang out and invite everybody, right? If you're interested in a mortgage, if you're interested in insurance, you're interested in making friends, all that comes with the package of Align Mortgage. But what they offer you is just food, family, fellowship, and you can come out and hang out and see where we stream. We're going to try to do a debate or two out here as well for the runoff elections. But Align Mortgage of Texas is a veteran, right? Check this out. Their whole mission in life is to serve veterans. And as a veteran myself, I tell you right now from the bottom of my heart, that makes me super excited. If we take care of veterans, first responders, police officers, firefighters, anybody who we try to help who is protecting us every day, those are folks we need to be a part of and folks we need to help. So Align Mortgage of Texas is always there to help your home loan needs, but more than that, whether it's faith, it's family, you just want to hang out and talk and have a good time, enjoy the organization, come on out. I think it's 5900 Summit Parkway. It used to be the old Paul Mitchell building. So if you ever came over here and got your hair done with Paul Mitchell or bought any styling products in the old days, that's where Align Mortgage of Texas is. So don't hesitate to come on out and join out here next week. We'll be out here as well, hanging out and having a good time. So we'll come along and catch that. And thank you, Align Mortgage and Chris Cano, who we're going to bring on the show here in a minute, and talk about just what the craziness that is San Antonio right now. That's the nation and that's the globe with the coronavirus pandemic. Now, we always start with a little bit of fun because, hey, look, man, if we're going to get into the real serious stuff, we're going to talk about politics, and always not so fun. We're going to talk about pandemics. We're going to talk about pre-K for SA. We're going to talk about housing, whatever it is at that moment. We also got to have a little bit of fun. So we always try to find some videos that are a bit killer or funny. Now, I come across this one on Twitter the other day, and of course, it's the illustrious Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez talking about Chinese food. Now, you have to watch this to believe. I couldn't believe it when I saw the tweet until I saw the video. I thought this was fake news. But Salo spin that and let us watch AOC talk about racist Chinese food.
Honestly, it sounds
almost so silly to say, but there's a lot of restaurants that are feeling the pain of racism, where people are literally not patroning Chinese restaurants. They're not patroning Asian restaurants because of just straight up racism around the coronavirus. So,
you're racist.
For not eating Chinese food.
You're racist because you won't get the Kung Pao chicken. I know you want to order the lemon chicken, but no. You're racist. Is it pad thai? No, that's pad thai. It's not pad thai. It's virus. Who knows? But I don't think people are consciously walking around the globe saying, you know what, man, I ain't eating any Chinese food today. This is crazy. The last thing I need right now is a wonton. No, they're not doing that, right? So please stop with the politics. If there's anything that's going crazy right now with this entire virus and the pandemic piece, is the political football it has become to destroy your political enemy or opponent. So please, please, please watch these things with a grain of salt, listen to what she has to say, and then laugh about it and move on. You're not racist if you avoided Asia Kitchen on Calabria Road. I'm just here to tell you right now, it's okay. It's great food to be back again soon, but you're not a racist. All right, now I love this one too. Put up that Joe Biden. You know, Joe Biden's got some major cojones on him, man. This guy, for an 80-year-old, for what is he, a septuagenarian, an octogenarian? This guy is telling this kid in Detroit exactly what he thinks about his Second Amendment rights. Spin it.
You are actively trying to diminish your Second Amendment right and take away everything.
No, shush. Shush. You need 100 rounds.
So when you were in Beto and you said you're going to take our guns,
I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that. Wait. Take your AR-14s and what?
Okay, this is not okay.
Hold on.
Thanks so much. Give me a break, man.
Don't be such a worry. You're pushing up on me.
Hey, there's a lot of
Hey. Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Are you able to own a machine gun? I said, are you able to own one? Under law.
Machine guns for you?
That's right. So AR-15's illegal.
How was that in a machine gun?
No, it's not.
Semi-automatic.
Yeah, do you need 100 rounds? Do you need 100 rounds?
In America with handguns, and there are what you call assault rifles. Why are you advocating for assault rifles when people are
Hey, look, there could be some technical difficulties right now as well. So we may have dropped back up and come back up. Looks like we dropped and the show came back up. So some people are logging back on right now. Like it, share it, tag a friend. Look, Joe Biden means business. This is like Mad Max. This guy's like Thunderdome. I can't wait for him and Trump to see who can out-septuagenarian self themselves. The two of these guys at 70, were they 75, 80 years old? Biden's like 70. No, I'm sorry, excuse me. Biden's 77. He's going to be 78 if he wins and takes office. The president, I think, is like 75. Bernie Sanders is like 90. But the two of these guys going at it head to head is going to be absolutely awesome, right? Like this is the two old men with canes in their front yard saying, "Get off my yard, you little whippersnapper." And they're saying it to like a 60-year-old man. Like it's that insane. These aren't kids. These are old people. And it's fine, right? I'm just worried for them, right? How is this going to be handled? I got some great memes to show you a little bit later about them as well. But man, I can't wait because Biden doesn't take any crap, Salo, off anybody. Like he told this guy who said, "Hey, man, you're trying to take my guns." And by the way, if you saw last week, you noticed where Joe Biden was with Beto O'Rourke and they were hanging out pretending like they were eating Whataburger, right? And at that point, Joe Biden said, "I'm going to put Beto in charge of taking guns away, man. Second Amendment rights." And Biden was pushing Beto, and we all know where Beto is. He wants to confiscate weapons, period. So, Joe, if you are advocating for Beto to take over that, you are vis-a-vis advocating for the removal of, well, I think in this case, what did he say? AR-14s? AR-14s, AR-12s, AR-10s. And then he told the guy he's full of shit, which is absolutely amazing. And then he shushed somebody on the side. Like all he needed literally was a cane, like to just be knocking, like whack-a-mole, anybody who questioned Joe Biden. It's going to be totally awesome. Be prepared. These debates are going to be amazing. Actually, the Bernie Biden one coming up is going to be real cool too. So, and then finally, we got to show this one just because we're always talking about fake news in the media. Bring up that NBC News bit there as well. I love this one. Watch your math skills right here.
This guy, he could do it.
Absolutely. Somebody tweeted recently that actually with the money he spent, he could have given every American $1 million.
I've got it. Let's put it up on the screen. When I read it tonight on social media, it kind of all became clear. Bloomberg spent $500 million on ads. U.S. population 327 million. Don't tell us if you're ahead of us on the math. He could have given each American $1 million and have had lunch money left over. It's an
All right. Mental note, if there are 327 million people in the country, Michael Bloomberg spent $500 million. That basically means they each get $1.53. I don't need to be some sort of MIT math graduate to figure out that every one of them is not going to get $1 million. No. So, look, hey, man, it's fun stuff. Look, we know Brian Williams. We've seen this guy before in the past. He's had some problems, just a few problems with the truth. Just a couple. Remember, he was exaggerating his tail off a few years ago and got ran off MSNBC. And now he's sitting here obviously broadcasting these crazy facts with his friend right there. So no, it's not $1 million each. I can tell you right now, the woman that was also quoted right there saying $1 million would change some people's lives. It'd be more than changing their lives. It'd be insanity. Like I tell you right, here's the crazy part about it is though, if money was more money, the more money we give to people, if we don't teach them what to do with that cash, right? If we don't educate them on how to be successful with it, the same people that are rich now are going to be the same people that are rich then. And the same people that are struggling now are going to be the same people struggling then if they don't know how to handle their money and take care of their business. So you have to, right? You have to think about that a little bit, government. It's not our job to fund everything, right? It's not our job to fund everything. It's our job to create the playing field so everybody has a chance to be successful. But it's not our job to take care of everything and pay you. It's not how it works. We'll get to that in a minute. But look, great videos. We always have fun with stuff like that. I cannot wait for Joe Biden to jump in and let us enjoy the ultimate Biden, full-on Biden. It's going to be awesome. Biden, Trump, we're in it. We're going to talk about that right now. So, couple quick updates. The Dem primaries are rocking and rolling. You know what? Let's go ahead and, before we jump into that, we were talking about Align Mortgage. So I'm bringing Chris. And Chris and I can both, my wife's watching. We can talk. We can talk about some things. So we're at Align Mortgage of Texas. The owner, right? The big toe, the head honcho. Did I already do the big toe joke before? Oh, last week I did. In fact, we got to get a gift certificate to Arguello. The big toe. If you remember from Stripes, the movie, the big toe, Sergeant Hulka. The man in charge of Align Mortgage of Texas, his shop, is a gentleman named Chris Cano. And Chris, we're in his building, so I said, man, come on the show and let's talk about these things. So we're going to bring Chris on right now. Come on, Chris. Oh, play this video of Chris and his teams here at Align Mortgage.
I just want to tell my story of after my parents died. I found myself in a life of drugs. And I got on a bus by myself. And I just came to San Antonio. But I don't know anybody here yet. But I was determined to make it no matter what. And on the 14th of next month, I'll be celebrating 6 months clean.
It's not alone.
I'll tell you, what you guys do for vets, nobody else cares the way you guys do.
It's not a real estate transaction.
He's been waiting for this day, and now he's tongue.
It's hard trying to find somebody to even look at us and even hear us out. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times dealing with PTSD, I have a hard time.
It's a family.
One time I was a heroin addict for 35 years of my life. But July 18th of 2010, I gave my life to Christ. And 4 years ago, I asked God for a hope. It took 4 years for me to get over. But God is good.
Amen. Yes.
And it's a home. We need to act like it.
What y'all have done to help us out today couldn't have been done without God. It couldn't have been done without Him. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Is an excellent video, and that's a testimony. We wanted to, of course, thank and recognize Chris and what he's doing with Align Mortgage and what that mission and things mean in the community. And I think that video just encapsulates everything. Yeah, what you stand for, who you are. So what is that? When you watch that, right? You've been in the mortgage business. Chris is a Navy vet himself. Was on. Well, you were. Hello, you're in submarines, right?
Yeah, submarine guy.
At Pearl.
Yep, out of Pearl Harbor. Yeah.
How many years you get in?
10 years, which in submarine years, it translates to what, 35? So about 35 years. When you live under the sea, man, it doesn't feel like 10 years. It feels like forever. But yeah, 10.
So 10 years, 35 years in submarine years.
Yep.
I was 10 years as well, underground, working on missiles, the Minuteman weapon system. And yeah, they didn't let me above ground. Ever,
Wait, you were in the Air Force and you didn't fly planes?
No, I was afraid to fly, but yet I joined the Air Force.
There's other jobs? Okay, got it. Oh, I'm a submarine guy. We don't know anything.
Yeah. We both work. Well, you're underwater, I was underground. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I had a pilot ask me, he said, why did you go submarines? And I said, because there's more planes in the ocean than submarines in the sky. And he got offended. That was offensive to him.
I could see.
He blocked me.
He blocked you. I've been blocked a lot. Welcome to the club. But thank you for this.
Greg Blockhouse.
Greg Blockhouse. It's just Ron Nirenberg supporters, okay? They can't stand me. They get upset. They block me because I just sit here and say things about City Hall or Ron or whatever he's doing at that particular moment to ruin our city. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Now I'm going to drop and get 15 blocks in the next 5 minutes. But we appreciate you, brother. Thanks for being here. And thank you for what you do. Your space is excellent. When you watch that video, what do you think about when your business and what you're trying to do in San Antonio anyways, right, for the community? We're Military City USA, all these things, all these catchwords and slogan, leadership by slogan. When you see that, what do you think?
Well, March 2017, we inherited the name Military City USA. So we're coming up on the third birthday of this title that we have given ourselves. We beat San Diego to the copyrights. We took the name Military City USA. And so when I watch this video, it just gives me encouragement that I think we're truly closing this gap to allowing ourselves to earn that name, which is making veterans homeowners here in San Antonio. Military City USA, we can't just adopt it because we think, we've had the Air Force Base here for X amount of years or this or that. We got to truly stand by it. And those that deploy, bring them back home and into a home that they own. So defend it, own it.
Perfect. Defend it, own it, man. Dude, there's a hashtag right there. All right, man, I'm going to steal you off a mortgage and your business and everything you're doing for the military piece. Let's talk about politics. How do you think politics in this, with what's happening with the pandemic, the coronavirus? We're talking about politics. We're talking about Biden. We're talking about Donald Trump. How do you see that affecting our city, whether it's housing, or it's our markets, it's our affordability, whatever it is? What do you see what's happening with the politics?
Man, it's crazy out there right now. My business partner, he started this seminar, The Truth About the VA Home Loan Benefit. And he used to talk about this one segment where he'd say, that little guy in North Korea, he could say something and it can totally change the way our market, and man, it couldn't be further from the truth. We're seeing this whole panic, the epidemic. I say every time somebody sneezes, it's cha-ching, cha-ching, loans, man. It's
you can go anywhere in the city right now.
Yeah.
If somebody sneezes,
you're the bad guy.
Right? You are in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
Like you are isolated. Like I'm supposed to go take my family tonight to go see the Four Tops, my parents.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking, man, what if I sit next to somebody who's not feeling well? I was eating a couple of tacos earlier today. I'm sorry. I was beef. It was keto friendly.
Keto-friendly tacos.
Right? So
Are they even tacos anymore if they're keto friendly?
I don't even know what that is.
That's a wrap. It's now a wrap at that
I wrapped it in tortillas. I'm sorry, man. I thought about my keto tacos. I wrapped them in tortillas. But people were coughing in the table across from me, and you're like hypersensitive to the world. So, but it's affecting the way the business community moves right now. And how's it affecting what you're seeing in your line of work?
Man, everything's emotionally driven right now. So we're looking at the bond market. We're watching pricing, repricing. Like we just repriced about 10 minutes ago. As soon as I saw at about 10 p.m. last night that the commissioner had shut down the season for a while in the NBA, I was thinking, man, we're going to go to work. We're going to see rates tank. Tom Hanks is posting on Instagram that him and his wife have it. I won't go out.
Tom Hanks
and his wife.
Tom Hanks is the reason the country's gone in the tank. Him and his wife got the coronavirus in Australia.
So as soon as he posted Instagram, I say, you might as well lock in your rate. As soon as Tom Hanks posts that he has a coronavirus, go lock in your interest rate because you can guarantee they're pretty much going to open up low.
Do you think, and I'm sorry, let's just talk about the president, right? And there's a lot of folks, we got Republicans, Democrats, it's all politically charged right now. How do you think the president, what do you feel overall coming out of Washington, D.C. in general? How do you see it on how they're handling the crisis?
Man, that's a loaded question, bro.
Tough one.
Man, I was just locking in interest rates like 2 years ago, and now you're asking me to comment on how politics.
What are you seeing from the president then?
Man, I think that Trump is a smart dude, and Saulo and I have a lot of discussions in regards to how smart he is and how he's he tends to kind of troll and do things, but how it completely affects our market. His tweets, his posts, things that he says, and I think it just creates a little bit of panic, which is good. It makes people think, makes people reflect. Homeowners are going out there and they're adjusting their interest rates. They're doing refinances. I don't know how people feel right now about going to open houses. I don't know if we're at a point where veterans are too scared to wake up on a Saturday morning, get in the back of a realtor's car and go look at houses. I don't think we're there yet. I think this is affecting more at a mass level, 100 people or more in a type of space we're not going to attend. But I haven't seen any slowdown with people looking to buy homes.
It's crazy because it's hard to say, right? Like one day the president is doing a fantastic job, right? The next day he's the devil. Depends on who you are politically, whether you're Republican or Democrat. And if you believe those, we've never been more polarized. And then there comes something like this. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Something like this comes along where you would think should be uniting the country. And we're so politically charged and shot that this is now used as a tool of division as well. Like the president gave a speech last night, and I know some of y'all watched it. I watched it. I didn't think it was a horrible speech. He was very somber, spoke right through, read the teleprompter, didn't do anything out of the ordinary crazy. And then today I wake up and he spooked the markets and he's caused mass chaos and confusion. And I just don't know if that's where we're at to an extreme level, right? So when I see Biden and Bernie getting ready to go at it here, they're going to have a debate on Saturday. They haven't finalized where the Democrats are, where they're going to be. I think it's hilarious to watch this whole thing unfold just because when a party like this is what cracks me up. The party has been spewing, right, the Democrats for a couple of years now about diversity, about their anti-wealth position, right? This diversity conversation has really now turned into where we had, I would say probably the most diverse Democratic field we've ever seen, and now it's whittled down to 275-plus-year-old millionaire white guys. And how? And one of those two is going to win it. Look, we know it's going to be Biden. I just don't see any path forward for Bernie. Do we have I think we had a couple of pictures, number one up there. Put some thoughts up real quick.
I think it's funny, and I don't even know if you did this on purpose, but you just merged them into Burden.
Burden.
You were like Bernie Biden.
Man.
You said Burden.
Dude, I just created.
That's a hashtag.
I'll give myself a high five. I just created something. Put it up there. Put up this Bernie Biden. You got to have some fun on this one. You got it? Come on. Go on. All right. Salo says keep talking. I've got some great photos, okay? We're going to put up some pictures and some shots, right? Some people are going to recognize these.
But yeah, that's good.
I do think that, is it coming up? I do think, and this is about just my opinion, that it's going to be an interesting. There it is right there. There it is right there. I knew I have seen those two before. Come on.
That's good.
Hey, look, I love you. I appreciate you guys. There it is right there. Remember I talking about the old men with the cane on the yard? Get off my yard. That's what I'm thinking about right there. What's next? We got anything else coming up next? Okay, that's the same one. Hold on, we got another one here.
What the heck?
Salo, hey.
That's Salo's favorite.
Salo has a fever right now.
Yeah.
Salo, he loves that meme. Here, up. Podiums and next debate to be equipped with life alert buttons.
Oh my.
That's the Babylon Bee. If you have some time in your life and you're bored, like you have no business doing anything else, you're not, exercising you can do, you have eaten for the day, you're not quite ready to go to sleep yet, go Google Babylon Bee and read that. Of course, this is troll humor. This is fake. It's not real. Calm down, America. Calm down.
It's
but
crazy.
Podiums at the next debate.
There's so much fake news out there, man. I was watching, I was going through my feed this morning and I saw something where it was reporting that, any business, 100 plus or more employees will be shut down and it's required to pay your whole staff. And I was freaking out, Greg. I was like, I'm not going to pay a staff that's not going to be here. And it said, click this link to see if your company is on the list. And I clicked the link and it's like, psych, be at work at 7:30,
So, you know what?
Yeah.
Good point, man.
Because actually, it was on your page. It might have been you, actually.
I trolled you.
Yeah.
But this is true, though, man. Right now, people are they're using the virus and the pandemic as an opportunity to start advocating for these paid sick leave laws and Medicare for all, right? Universal health care. And they're saying, hey, look, if we had paid sick leave, I would be able to stay home and get paid for the work. Newsflash, everyone's going to have to stay home at this point. There's nobody. The devastation to the economy, if it got to that point, right, is going to be huge.
Huge.
I mean, and for a business owner, it could drive you out of business.
It's crazy. Our P&L right now is being completely affected. I've installed sanitizers all over the building, right? Those things aren't cheap. We got to refill them. We got Japanese whiskey in every office.
I'm going to demonstrate in a minute here coronavirus hand washing techniques. You can't touch your face, but you can't touch your face with like a... Yeah, I'm sorry. That's fair. But check this out. Hold on. Before we get into something, I want to make sure we get some comments here. So Ray Rodriguez is watching. Betty Salo's wife is watching. My daughter from Texas Tech. Cindy Inkpen says Alliant Mortgage is very supportive of military spouses. Thank you, Chris.
Very welcome. Thank
Chet
you.
Manley. I'm getting ready to close on my first house, locked in at a 3% rate.
Nice.
There you go.
Way
there
to
you
go.
go.
Congratulations.
Ray Rodriguez says the president of the United States is a chess player. Ooh, Ray, throwing it down.
If he were the chess piece, what piece would you say that he is, Greg?
The Donald?
Yeah, the Donald. What is he?
I mean, look, man, you know the most powerful piece on the board is the queen.
I
don't want to call Donald Trump the queen.
Man.
You set me up. Can't do that. He's not a pawn.
Okay.
Definitely not a pawn. I'll just go with a castle.
He's the castle.
He's the castle.
Okay. All right, the king of the castle.
Yeah,
I like it.
I can't call him the queen. I'll get unfriended immediately. We're struggling right now, okay? I can't make that up. I can't do that. I mean, we're trying to grow this business. We're not trying to piss every Trump supporter off. He's the queen.
Yeah.
That's a loaded question, Kano.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So we're rolling forward. Do we have that one about Jim Clyburn? This is an interesting piece, too. I want people to see this. I saw this today. So Representative Jim Clyburn came out and called for an end to the Democratic primary now, unless, just in case, something catastrophic happens to Joe Biden and he's mortally wounded before his battle. Right here, Clyburn asked the DNC to shut this primary down to protect Biden from something he cannot overcome.
Oh.
Okay. Wow. So, look. There's truth to that. Remember what Bernie did to Hillary in 2016. He continued to go after her, and some say mortally wounded her by just the onslaught of the Bernie bros through the election, and then she tanked. Personally, she tanked because I think she's just Hillary Clinton. And then she lost Michigan and pissed away a couple of states that she should have been focusing on. She got herself in trouble. And she got beat in the Midwest and in places where manufacturing businesses and jobs matter, and she lost. Plus, people genuinely did not like Hillary Clinton. In those particular states. But the president is strong in the states he needs to win in. But this is what concerns me. And I'll just leave you with as we wrap this one up because I want to talk to you about the coronavirus stuff. We got to get into this and how you're running a business and what that means. But the president against the Bernie Sanders is a slam dunk. I just believe that. I don't think there's any. It would have been nothing. I think it would have been a McGovern, right? This thing would have been awesome, 49-1. Like a Mondale deal, right? But the problem with Joe Biden is he can win in the Midwest. He can. And the way he did in Michigan the other night, he had a good showing. He lost California, but that's a Dem state anyways. And then he did well in the South. So it's going to be an interesting piece. Can Joe Biden put together a coalition, and can a nearly 80-year-old appeal to millennial voters and the Bernie bros and bring them back on board to unify the party? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But I fear Biden. I'll be honest with you. Biden seems like to me to be the better challenger, obviously, and going to make for a good race.
Yeah. I think Tom Hanks is going to throw him a party, to kind of kick this whole thing off.
Hey, Tom Hanks, you need to have a fundraiser for Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Now. All right, so coronavirus, San Antonio. Let's talk about this. So Ron Nirenberg obviously is leading our city during this crisis. We've seen some back and forth over what he's been attempting to do. But the coronavirus, first they flew people into the city. They landed them at Lackland. Everything was okay to an extent.
Yeah.
And then a couple tested positive, and it started ramping up a little bit. And then, of course, they waited the quarantine period, and they started pushing people out. And then the CDC accidentally released one of them, I guess, to let him go after they tested negative for a couple times.
I think it was Saulo.
Yeah, and then he ended up eating Chinese food at the food court at North Star Mall, freaked the city out, and now we're seeing another 200, 300 quarantine folks coming in from the Disney Princess ship or whichever one that was, and they're landing at Lackland Air Force Base right now. So they've been keeping him under control. Yeah. Look, the mayor and the city council, back and forth. They've been blaming the CDC, patting themselves on the back. It's been an up and down roller coaster. They held a special session yesterday to talk about it. No real updates other than we may cancel Fiesta. So what do you think about that? What is your thoughts on canceling Fiesta? Would you send your employees home at any point in time?
No, absolutely not. Well, that's just always going to be the answer for, will I send my employees home? When you're called to do something, you're called to do it, right? And so we don't live in fear. We're not given a spirit of fear. But, I feel like one of the updates that they made recently, one of the biggest issues was the non-Texans that were quarantining, right? So is quarantining a word? Quarantining.
Quarantine. You're quarantined.
Quarantined.
Sweet quarantine. Bum, bum, bum. Okay.
So, anyways, 3 days is what they're doing now. Is there, and that's what the mayor put out, that they're going to hold people for 3 days. If they're not from Texas, then they're going to. It's a catch and release. So they're releasing them out. So catch and release. So, bro. Anyways, it's hard to be serious about something so serious. And so, anyways, my take on it, man, is I think it's just it's a fear thing. I mean, obviously, we want to make sure
you're gonna keep your people coming to work.
Yeah, heck yeah, they're gonna keep on to work. Absolutely, there's work to be done. I think. We're hyping it up a lot. I think that, listening to what's happening in Europe, and Europe's kind of ahead of us right now in regards to a lot of the things going on. But I think we're not far away from getting ahead of this thing. The whole take on this is the flu is killing more people, right? The flu is killing more people. How come we're not conscious like this all the time about the flu? Why the coronavirus? And I think it's just the fear of the unknown. Like, people don't, there's not enough data yet to determine what the coronavirus is doing to the inside of our bodies.
Yeah,
right?
I don't, and that's a good point, right?
There's that's what we say.
There's nothing Vicks and aloe vera can't cure. Which I'm a little mad at you, San Antonio. Everybody's throwing props at Vicks, but my mom, right, was able to cure everything with her aloe vera plant. Where's the aloe vera plants, man?
For me, it was a chancla. Yeah, that's how we fix a lot of things in my house.
Yeah, I got fixed. Yeah, I'm with you on that. But look. Right, so the city, right, and I think you bring up a good point. And when you mention some of the other stuff too about people talking about, well, the flu kills this many people. Just there's the point of reference. What probably is freaking people out, if they do any math, they'll notice that, look, the flu infects millions of people. So if you take, right, the flu mortality rate and you apply that, and you see that many cases with coronavirus, and the coronavirus I think right now is got like a 3% mortality rate. The flu is like a 0.1.
Yeah,
I actually read this. So I was reading it today to get a little prepared for you today. But the flu mortality rate's 0.1. There's about 29 to 30 million cases, right? And if you match that number of cases with the coronavirus, right, 29 to 30 million, with a 3%, right, mortality rate, then you're starting to see deaths in the hundreds of thousands. I think that's what's freaking people out. Sure, but no one's going that far with it. I think what's freaking people out is just the great unknown. I'll be honest with you too. Some people, they're going to capitalize on it, right? They're going to use it to their advantage, whether it's political, it's business, right? And we've got some funny memes. We'll talk about that later. But I think you're on point. Keep people coming to work.
Come on.
Hand sanitize, right? Right. This is hand sanitizer right here.
Well, you remember the scare about back, what was it, 20 years ago, when it was the bugs in your hair. Right, and keep all your kids at home. Right, bugs are in every kid's hair now, and now it's the coronavirus. So,
it's like Y2K all over again.
What was it? Head and Shoulders, and after 2 weeks, it passed.
Yeah, I don't think it was Head and Shoulders.
It was. What was it that killed the bugs? Hey, the bug epidemic.
First of all, Kano, it's not Head and Shoulders. No. It's like I used to work at HEB, so the only reason I know this is because I worked at HEB.
Yeah,
not because I had lice. But it's like something called RIT. And it's like a legit shampoo just for that. That's a total diatribe off.
Shout out to RIT. Thank y'all.
We just went off the rails with a lice conversation, but that's here and there. So, but the point well taken, which is people freak out.
I know.
And it is important, and I think you take the right approach with it. It's important at times like this for leadership. I think that's why people question the president. The mayor yesterday was questioning and trashing the administration. Republicans beating up Democrats, Democrats beating up Republicans. It's crazy. At a time when you would think national unity would reign to do the right thing.
Yeah.
At this point, everything now is used to tear apart each other and destroy. It just is. It's just who we are now as a political community, as a crisis community, whatever's happening. But leadership, Mark Cuban yesterday, when they canceled the NBA season, he saw it on his phone. There's a great video of him. He sees it live on his phone.
He's mad.
And he freaks out.
Yeah.
But his response to it was pure business leadership, right?
Yeah.
He said pretty much, hey, look, man, we got to make the right decisions. It's about protecting people and families. And that's what I'm going to be about, right? We don't need to overreact. Like he couldn't have given, but you know what that comes from? That's a business leader, right? Like that's somebody who's led people, created, made billions in his line of work. And then he turns around and he's running the Dallas Mavericks. But his response was, hey, patience and calm.
Sure.
And let's make sure we take care of families.
Sure.
And that's kind of what you're advocating.
There's a lot of perspective in regards to the situation at hand. Some people are freaked out about it, and some people are a little bit more loose and making light of a lot of the things. And we're making light of it just because of the context, and we're having fun. But you have to respect people's fears. Things that scare people are definitely something that a leader has to take into play. Real concerns to me and you may not be real concerns to somebody who's 21 or 22 years old. Or our older employees are freaking out right now.
Yeah, well, anybody's coughing around your older employees, they're probably freaking out. I called my dad. I'm like, hey, man, is everything all right? I got to take you to see the Four Tops tonight. You are 70 plus.
Yeah.
Just asking. I love you, and I would like to have you for a few more years.
But, man, if you win, I mean, God forbid anything happen, why not go out listening to the Four Tops?
Yeah, man, the Four Tops and the Temptations. If there's, that's good. I'll go out like that.
Yeah.
I got to
slide out. How did he die?
He went out watching the Four Tops at the Majestic Theater. He got
front row.
He got the coronavirus in the front row.
Front row.
Put some of them pictures up, Salo. Can you get any? Come up here. So starting with number like 5, 5, 6. Let's just go through some of this is where the world is right now. Here it comes, coming at you live. Right. So the second Jazz player tested positive today for coronavirus. Their star Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell. Well, what was ridiculous? This guy Rudy Gobert. He was goofing around at a press conference on Monday.
Yeah.
Like touching microphones and touching cameras. And there's a video of it. You can go Google it.
Sure.
And you could see him. This is the cat. This Rudy Gobert is the one that tested positive.
Fun fact, they're now the Utah Blues. Yeah.
Jeez, they're quarantined, man.
Yeah.
Once you get sick in a locker room, I don't know if you remember from your sports days, but when one person gets sick in the locker room, everybody's sick. Same thing as it was in a silo, probably the same thing it was on the ship, right?
Submarine, the same thing. Yep. One person gets lice, we all got lice.
I don't know why this turned into the lice conversation.
Head and shoulders.
All right, so put the next one. Scary stuff right there. Man, Salo, you just love Rudy Gobert. Where are we at? These are some of the news of the day here. President Trump restricts all travel from Europe, except for the United Kingdom. People are pissed off about this overseas. But look, man, this is what we're talking about. Restrictions, travel restrictions, social distancing, who's coming over. Look, I'd be concerned about anybody flying over here from Italy, man. Should they go? They've got a ton of cases over there. So the president's jumping on that. Caught a lot of grief for his address last night, like we talked about. He came out and really, I thought, handled it firmly. But again, blamed the next morning for sparking chaos over his travel ban. You got those pictures? Check this out. I wanted to show it. Check this out, Chris. So these are some tourist destinations across the world. This is what coronavirus is doing. Here's the Piazza del Duomo in 17, and now it's just pigeons, coronavirus style. This is the world right now.
Wow.
Here is Disneyland Resort in Hong Kong. Crickets.
You got more of those?
Yeah, man, there's more.
Oh, look at this.
Here's a good one. Yeah, St. Peter's Square. Yeah. Italy is really struggling right now. In fact, Italy has put the entire country, as we know, on lockdown. 60 million people cannot leave the country. They're on basically self-quarantine. I think there's maybe one more. And here's the Islam's holiest shrine at Mecca, and there's Mecca on March 6th. Absolutely devastating the globe, right? And the United States has handled it. I think when you look at the rest of the world, the United States has handled it exceptionally well. So what else we got, Salo? Anything? What's up next? There's some other stuff here. Here's LeBron James. Of course, we all know the NBA season was canceled. I love the Nike swoosh sign on the mask right there. What do you think about the NBA canceling, man? You think it was an overreaction?
Well, no. I mean, dude, these guys are up at each other's grill, guarding each other. Unless you're the Spurs not playing defense this year.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. Anyways, so
the Spurs streak of playoff victories still stands. Making the playoffs because they canceled the season.
The Spurs aren't going to the playoffs.
Nobody is going to the playoffs, right? If the Spurs, this is true. If the Spurs, good point, are not going to make the playoffs, then the hell with it. Pandemic. That's Nobody's going to the playoffs. Spurs streak remains intact.
Man, Greg Popovich, he's a great coach to implement the coronavirus
to keep his team.
Greg, unreal.
Hey, now great. We're going to get 50 reports now on that your coronavirus joke right there. Salute. Next. What else we got? What else you got for me in there? Any more corona stuff? Oh, by the way, schools. Now, right now, UTSA, Texas A&M University, a lot of colleges and places are postponing for another week. So they're pushing back their start dates. But what I love about Northside Independent School District, I'm a grad of Northside. John Jay High School, Mustang. Oh, I have to go that way so you can see my J better. Okay. So I'm a grad of John Jay High School here in San Antonio. We are basically known as the Harvard of the Southwest. John Jay, I'm just saying, we're Central Catholic looks up to us, Clark, Holmes, all these high schools.
Do you guys fact check after these shows?
Yeah, this is a complete total lie. But Northside will not cancel school for anything. And here's your notice, folks. NISD is aware of the most recent announcement. They're going to keep an eye on it, but that's Northside. It could be iced up 20 below, and the buses are running and kids are getting to school. But the coronavirus is going to be an interesting one. Will the Northside School District shut down?
Crazy. UTSA and them have already extended spring break and stuff for 3 or 4 extra days.
Yeah, so they're going to an extra week here, and really, should schools close for the coronavirus? I guess if I don't know, is it too late when a school actually gets a case? It's going to be interesting. And schools, when you get into that type of world, that's that's a little haven that's a petri dish right there, man. Kid walks in there with that, it's on. And then are they going to cancel Fiesta? What do you got here? Oh, man, yeah. So check this out. A group of passengers became disruptive on a flight when someone coughed. This is like a legit story right here. Passengers' reaction to sneezing person causes plane to divert.
Wow.
Then there's another dumb one. Put it in the next one here.
We were traveling from Palm Springs back to San Antonio, and we had a layover in Houston. And man, it is just interesting watching people walk around with luggage these days. Everybody is a potential threat.
Potential threat.
Yes.
Man's joke about coronavirus leads to lockdown of 2 San Antonio fire stations. This is serious business. He joked about having the coronavirus, and this dude may very well have to pay up. It's just getting this. Well, maybe you should. It's like screaming fire in a movie theater.
What's the level, Greg, in your opinion, of sensitivity on social media with the coronavirus? I mean, when is it no longer okay? We had a segment that we did on Ken's 5. I asked Saulo to help us with a video and capture the attention of what's happening with the rates, and through that, we made a small joke about an epidemic sweeping San Antonio, and I sneezed off to the side and I said rates are dropping.
I thought it was great.
But, some people were like, hey, man, there's people who have died from the coronavirus.
Comedy cures all. I mean, it really does. I mean, I think in the social conscious, and it's always a line like, when is it okay to make a joke about something?
Yeah.
Like, you can't go into a stand-up comedy club and make a Lincoln joke. Like, that's still, it's like 150 years, right?
You
right?
can't?
Yeah, no, you can't, man. You can't make a joke about Abe Lincoln getting shot in the head.
It's too soon.
So it's too soon. So it's hard to say, but I think in this case, I think a healthy dose of humor, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but people get pissed and ticked at anything.
Yeah.
So I always do it like from a percentage standpoint. I always because my wife, when I would post stuff on social media, or I was in campaign world, or when I was elected, I would sit there and post stuff up. And if 1, 2, or 3 people said something bad, my wife would be like, oh man, Greg, check it out. This person said this. And I'd be like, how many people? Well, 2 out of 50. I don't care. Like, really, it doesn't. I mean, at that point, it becomes it's a numbers game. If I piss off 40 of 50 people, then I think, well, maybe it's a little too soon. Yeah. But I always look at it from, okay, how many people are interacting with me? If it's thousands of people and 2 people had a problem with it, it is what it is. The world, someone is going to have a problem with everything you do. I saw your video.
Yeah.
It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
I would have done it.
Yeah.
I saw another dude. He did a video, a realtor. Said it was, I just spit on the hand right there. He did as a realtor. He said, he made a joke about coronavirus. And he said, hey man, rates are falling. Come, let's talk about it. He said though, let's use coronavirus. The coronavirus is doing you a favor.
Oh, wow.
Like it's dropping rates. So some people are like, bro, that's not funny. I'm thinking to myself, that's pretty funny.
Sure.
So I would, hey man, if it generates leads, if it leads, it bleeds.
If it leads, it bleeds. Well, the second question I have for you then is, when is it okay to tell somebody they have bad breath?
It's absolutely right now. So
that has nothing to do with the coronavirus. If you have a friend that has bad breath, please let them know.
If it's me, then right now is probably a good time.
No, not you, bro.
Oh.
No.
I'm on the keto diet, so that's pretty much what I'm no, and I ate a bunch of fajita tacos. Okay, so what else we got? We got anything else up there? We're rocking and rolling here. We're gonna get to this. I want to get to this other couple conversations here. Okay, check this one out. I am very interested in this one. The Alamo is going to deserve some time, Saulo. I think we're going to have to dedicate some time to what's happening at the Alamo. So at the most recent election, at the primary election on March 3rd, there was a ballot initiative item about whether or not there's support in the Republican primary only for the reimagining of the Alamo. It's a $400 million project. They're going to reinvest. Reimagine is the catchphrase, the Alamo. It's a huge investment. It's going to change the face of it. And if you pull over the next slide, I think there's a slide of just words. 97% of Republican primary voters basically hate the Alamo reimagining plan right there. Statewide, 97% of Republicans voted yes. In other words, do not mess with the monument. Do not mess with the Alamo. 95% supported the proposition. And it's a $450 million redevelopment. Now, look, I was part of this vote. I see value in investing heavily into the Alamo, but I think what people are pissed off about is they want to honor the defenders, and they don't want to change the characteristic and the feel of the Alamo. And so in this case, for the vote to come back that overwhelming, I'm really curious to see how Democrats felt about it. I don't know if we'll ever be able to find that out, but 97%.
Well, if they were to take that money and give it to every American, that's like $1 million that we could have.
Man,
so
Chris Cano with the answers.
I mean, I'm in mortgages.
Yeah, he's in mortgages. He can do the math. For $450 million. Yeah. So, but I can't get that out of my head now.
Dude, that was crazy.
But dude, 95%. So we're gonna dig deeper into that. Look, I support investing in the area and building it up. I think we got problems. I think the cenotaph has really upset people. I think we're quantifying this. Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor's come out now and said he's got problems with this. I don't know if it's going to change. The city of San Antonio is moving down their path. I think it's worth further conversation, and we'll get into that in the future. Just wanted to bring that one up as something we may need to talk about. And look, I made a vote on it. I supported it. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. I mean, you know what? I support the dollars and the investment, but maybe how we're going about it is not as inclusive as it should be. So it's just worthy of a look, I think, to have a conversation about it, bring in a couple Alamo advocates, some folks on the other side, and let's just continue to make sure we're working together as a community about it. What else we got? Oh my God. So look, this crazy town with the elections, people are pissed off. I talked about it last week. Somehow or another, Jerry Rickoff won the Bexar County Sheriff Republican primary with 40,000 votes against a peace officer, 26-year master peace officer, Willie Ning. Jerry Rickoff has no law enforcement experience, yet he won. So people are up in arms right now about the issues with the voting equipment. There was issues with the power. There was issues with the votes. There was issues with the count. There's all these issues. I'm going to air quote it, issues with the vote that occurred last week. So many are calling for a recount. I mean, it's an electronic ballot. A recount is not what you would think. There is paper ballots involved now. Of course, the county switched to a new voting system, and it has glitches. It was admitted glitches. The number one thing I think we can do, number one, is to make sure we are transparent, and every change or thing we do, the public knows about it when it comes to the voting situation. That's it.
Smart.
They may not like the answer, but if you do a forensic analysis and you're trying to track down what happened to the equipment, share it with the public. Just share it. Enough already. All right? Because these people are calling for recounts and everything else. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. But hey, Bexar elections, they swear they'll be ready for November. They promise they will be ready to count votes. What else we got left? Anything else? All right. What do you think about childhood? Do you ever dig into this one? This is not necessarily a mortgage wheelhouse.
I'm learning so much right now, dude.
I
love it, dude.
I'm keeping you here because I want you to watch the memes.
Educate me.
I want you to watch the memes.
Funny
I'm just keeping you here right now for the memes.
Yes.
And for your humor and lice stories. That's
memes.
why you're right now.
Come on.
Memes. So look.
No memes.
We have
no more memes.
Salo's taking us down a path we don't want to go.
No,
Pre-K for SA is up for a vote. And I don't know. So my concern with this one, it's up for a vote on May 2nd. That's when the primary's up. Does the coronavirus change this? Do we want people voting and showing up at locations if we're banning sports events, if we're banning large-scale events, if it gets to that? If Fiesta stops, do we cancel the pre-K vote in May? Here's what's happening. Pre-K's been around for 8 years. The city invests about $40 million a year of your sales tax money into early childhood pre-K education for 3 and 4-year-olds. It's about 2,000 kids a year, and it costs $40 million. There's also grant dollars that head out and get sent out to school districts. And by the way, parochial And nonprofit schools also receive these, charter school type things, receive funding and grants from Pre-K for SA. So it's not just a public school piece, but a lot of kids aren't covered under the Pre-K for SA program, but it's up for reauthorization. Now, the mayor and the Pre-K team, led by Cheryl Scully, I'm here to tell you, Cheryl Scully is still dealing in city government work at San Antonio. She's pushing and fighting for the Pre-K program. She's leading meetings. She's basically, I guess, in charge of this thing. I don't know. She's one of the leaders of it. So Cheryl Scully's intimately involved in this sales tax campaign to try to make sure that it passes again. But why, right? So we have to dig into this a little bit deeper. And I don't think it's a 5-minute conversation. I think it's going to take an entire show where we have a conversation about, okay, how many kids are we helping? $40 million is a lot of money. What's the cost per child? $40 million a year. It's 1/8 of a cent sales tax. People have legitimate concerns about it being a core value, a core basic city service. Maybe we have that conversation. Maybe we invite some Pre-K advocates on, some education folks. Maybe we take it on the road and go have a conversation with them. Because if they run this vote on May 2nd, we're talking just a few weeks. We're talking, I mean, what are we, March? Oh my goodness, we're talking maybe 7 weeks before the election. So we have to find out, number one, are we going to hold the election? If we cancel Fiesta, we can't be having an election. So that's going to be interesting. And then we need to turn around and figure out what is the value of this. Look, I'm not against it or for it right now. I've been thinking a lot about Pre-K education. The state took on Pre-K education and funded it in the last session to the tune of about $5 billion. But that money may not translate into funding and opportunities for free Pre-K for kids. Now, a lot of voters in San Antonio think that's outside of the public realm. They think it's a glorified babysitting service. Some are saying that the educational opportunities aren't there.
I'm ready to vote right now.
Are you ready?
Let's vote right now. Wait, for my cousins and other Hispanics that are maybe watching, what is Pre-K even? Like, so we're investing how much in Pre-K?
Yeah, see, people don't know this.
Dude, this is bananas.
$40 million a year.
What if these kids decide to not even go to school?
Well, they have to go to the elementary.
Okay.
It's elementary.
Mandatory. Okay, got it.
They got to go to elementary school.
It's not optional.
No elementary dropouts.
Okay, got it.
But the problem is with people. So here, it's this educational piece that I think citizens deserve the right to know, right?
Yeah.
And they have to know what they're voting on this one. First of all, I don't know who the heck's going to vote on May 2nd anyways. This is like a no man's land election. But there's some school board races and there'll be this Pre-K vote. So the $40 million is getting invested into 4 Pre-K centers across the city.
Okay.
It was Julian Castro's baby 8 or 9 years ago. I don't even care that Julian Castro did it. It makes no difference to me. At this point, it doesn't. A broken clock's right twice a day. If you did something right, well, thank God. I mean, if it's helping children, it's helping children.
Right.
But what we need to find out is, okay, and this is the real rub for the matter, is it worth the $40 million? And then is a kid who's not in these Pre-K program, are they at the same level as a Pre-K for SA student at, let's say, 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade? That's the real question. If people will invest in it, if they can see tangible growth, and the child in Pre-K is doing substantially better for the $40 million, maybe it passes. If they're not, and they're at the same level. Now, there's a lot of research I saw out there that talked about the Pre-K for SA student doing a lot better, but it's only about 2,000, so they want to expand it. People are saying Pre-K is the wave of the future, right? When we're talking about investment into education. I don't know,
so
man.
we pump $40 million into this Pre-K program so that when they're old enough, they'll know that the Alamo is not looking the way it used to look anymore, right? So, yeah, it sounds like it's just...
Man, it sounds like you could run an opposition campaign right now. I'm not running...
Hey, that's not the Alamo!
I'm not running an opposition campaign. I'm not doing it. I want to learn. So I think it's worth, like a show, Salo, I think we should probably really, like literally, dig into and take one show and talk about Pre-K before they vote on it, because I'm not sure anybody's going to educate the public on it, other than kids are doing... Here's what's going to happen. The Pre-K campaign led by Cheryl Scully and a woman named Miss Rogers, I don't remember her first name. She's in charge of the Butt Foundation, executive director or something like that, Charles Butt Foundation into education. They're leading it and running with other elected officials, the mayor and everybody else. Their campaign's going to be, these kids are wonderful. They're fantastic. They're doing infinitely better. Keep investing. It's $40 million, investment in our future. It's successful, wildly successful. Here we go. And then the opposition argument is probably going to be non-existent if nobody steps up and runs it, and in which case people are voting blind going into it. But the opposition will say, look, it's not a core service of the city government. There is not tangible proof that these students are doing infinitely better for $40 million a year. And can that money be put somewhere else? And then, they'll talk about what the state is funding as well. So it's going to be a heck of a short run for a campaign, but I think it's worth digging into. Watch us. We'll come back on it soon enough. We'll do a show.
Conversation kind of maybe?
Man, a town hall is not a bad idea.
For people to get educated.
Yeah, man, maybe we stream it, right? Yeah. We may not be doing town halls, though, in the next couple of months because, everybody's shutting the world down right now. A virtual town hall.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we'll have to do. The whole world's going virtual. I'm gonna have virtual dinner with my wife tonight. Yeah. You stay in your room. I stay in mine. I'll text you. Actually, my wife's probably like, I'll take that deal.
I'll take that deal.
My wife's like, I got you. I got you. Hold my beer. My wife doesn't drink beer. Okay. Now, I'm sorry. There was a little bit of rant right there. Okay, we're good. I think that's all of our stories before we get to memes, right? So, look, before we hop into memes, we always close out with Goofy. That's why I wanted to keep you here because I know you're gonna love these. Yeah. Even though you're talking politics and, one show we're also going to talk mortgage, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to talk about home ownership.
Sure.
We have to talk about what we're doing. I'm back in the mortgage business myself. I'm going to be working with Chris because I love this space and this shop. I think it's great. We're going to talk more about that later. It
took a while to convince you, though. Well, we did talk about that one time, too. Yeah.
It just took me a while because, I'm picky.
You're picky. And so this is an honor. This is an honor. We're not even on a virtual date. We're on a real date. Yeah.
I would like to shake your hand. We can't really date anymore.
Yeah.
I'll virtually hang out with you at Nietzsche's.
Yeah. I know what you were doing. You were like, I'll think about it. And I was like, oh, tell me you'll think about it. And I pursued.
Now I've got to pursue it. And we're going to get after that soon enough. But we're going to talk about, because you know what's great? San Antonio's in a major conversation about housing affordability.
Yep.
And how we can put more people in homes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think in the nation of veteran homeowners.
That's right.
That would be amazing.
We're not even in top 10, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. But I think that's going to be a great conversation. Housing, affordability, how that addresses public policy. We'll have all that in the future. I think, man, and we'll bring up the whiteboard and we'll have a conversation about it because people just need the facts and they need to know. So I want to thank you for letting us use the facility.
Of course.
We appreciate you, and we're going to have a good time with some memes. But Align Mortgage of Texas, they're our hosts now. We appreciate it. Chris Cano is the owner, founder, the big toe, the Sergeant Holka for those of you Stripe fans, and he is knocking it cold. And we appreciate you and everything you do for veterans in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to roll out a first responder, police officer and firefighter program, very similar to what he's doing for veterans. More coming on that. We may have a whole special episode just around Greg. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love you, man. All right, we always close it with memes because we're ridiculous, and we like to have fun at the beginning and the end because that's what the world's about. There we go. At 4 feet away, Heather thought she was safe from creepy Uncle Joe's groping tentacles. You know what? We're going to see during this campaign, Salo, we're going to see Joe Biden creepy Joe Biden stuff. And we're going to see, hey, look, Donald Trump has his stuff too, man. You're going to see that crazy, those crazy guys. The Dems are going to come at him too. And Joe Biden's fearless, man. That guy will he told a 22-year-old he's full of crap the other day.
What is that girl thinking right now? She is just like, get your hand off of me. She's like, is anybody else saying this?
That is not good. She goes, is this really happening right now?
That's the smile you make whenever you're like, help.
Yeah, that's not good. Hell, yeah, that's okay. What's next? My new coworker? Me. I used to be just like you, happy and full of life. What we got? No memes.
Oh, where is it?
What are you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Did you drop my memes?
No, I didn't. There you go.
Come on. Getting that money.
Oh.
Hey, San Antonio. What's up with the toilet paper rush? I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm not one to talk about purchase habits across the city, but apparently the world cleaned out hand sanitizer, and then they went after toilet paper as well.
Yeah. But that's a good salesman right there. He looks very charming.
This cat is out on the street making that money.
You like that?
I see what you did.
Thank you.
He means business.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Salo, man. Went and had a kid, now you're slow. It's because he doesn't sleep.
Hit me up if you need that toilet paper. That's how I read that. I don't know. Can I read it like that?
Hey, dude, you're adding value to the meme segment already.
Hit me up if you need that toilet paper.
Chris is adding mad value to the memes with the language. I'm liking this. Who'da thunk? If I don't get elected, they will make you all get jobs.
Oh.
Ouch.
That's good.
Ouch. Bernie Bros, what are you going to do if Biden wins this thing, Bernie Bros? Are you with him?
Civil War.
Or are you sitting it out? Or is it civil war? Big question coming. I got to tell you this. I kind of like Bernie Sanders, only from a standpoint of that guy does not care. He says exactly. You want to talk about the art of consistency in message? Bernie Sanders has said the same thing for 40 years. Now, I'm not saying all of it's right, and some of it ain't insane, but he is consistent. He means it, and he believes it. And in politics, that's a rarity. That's why he's successful, right? Even though some of his ideas are out there. The guy is consistent. That guy had the coronavirus. That's a good way to get out of a ticket.
Jeez.
Texans, y'all can't shoot the coronavirus. Like he's pouring hand sanitizer into the shotgun shell. Lots of coronavirus jokes. So I probably will get 10. Hey man, that's not funny. If you ever ate here, you're immune to the coronavirus. Yep, that's a picnic grocery store. Yep, and anything labeled Jalisco number whatever. If you ate at any one of those, Jalisco numero 1 through CN.
That's the bathroom key with the rim on it, right? you gotta take the whole
No,
thing.
you don't go. Hey, you don't go to the bathroom place like that.
Oh, my bad.
After 1 week having to shop at South Park.
That's good.
That was sent to me. Look, I'm a child of the South Side too. Okay, so I can say this. I'm allowed. I'm from the South Side. My family grew up on Mission Road. Okay, I'm allowed. Someone sent that to me and it was absolutely hilarious. Because they shut down North Star. Nobody. Oh God, this is a good. I always have to have a Hillary Clinton one. Hillary Clinton says Epstein assassination was to manage my anxiety. Did you see? So she's got a Netflix special out or Hulu. And her and Billy talk about their issues with Monica Lewinsky. And of course, Bill Clinton said he had the Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
Because he was managing anxiety.
I don't think it's Hulu. I think it's Ulu. The H is silent, right? Isn't that what they say?
No, man. Dude, you're Hawaiian, dude. You're Hawaii.
Ulu. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Hulu.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry. I was thinking Benghazi. Never mind.
Benghazi.
Okay.
Next. What do we got? That's it?
Yeah.
Well, we always close with Hillary Clinton. Because that's so you can get Arkancided. All right. So, look, here's the deal. We have a good time today. We're moving around the times and the opportunities. We're high-fiving. This is how you have to high-five in the world from now on. You cannot touch each other's hands. You got to live in a bubble. We're becoming a bubble boy society, but that's okay. In the Alamo, we need to talk about housing and affordability in our city. We got to get into some real material, and so you can make decisions. Because over the next span of the next year, the rest of this year, we're going to vote in runoff primaries on May 18th. The election's May 26th. That's going to decide who's going to run against who in November. It's going to finalize it, and then the first Tuesday in November is a massive election that's going to change our the face of our nation for good, right? This is the most important political year we have ever seen. Your ability to know the issues, understand them at least, and make a vote is going to make a difference. People in this last election literally went out there and voted for whatever name seemed most familiar to them. The proof is in some of the people who won some races on March 3rd. One guy was asleep at home. The media woke him up to tell him he had won. He did not anticipate winning. That is scary. So we're going to try to educate. We're going to try to bring information to you so you can make decisions. We're going to introduce you to community partners like Chris Kahn on Line Mortgage, so we can help you build our community, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. We build it with information. That's right. We build it with resources and hope, but we also come at you and let you make the decision, because that's what the broadcast is all about. Information, ideas, put it on the table. Snowflakes, hit the road. Talk about what matters most. Don't get your feelings hurt. Wave goodbye and let it know once and for all, as we always like to close the show. The broadcast is playing again tonight at 8 o'clock, but we were officially out.